Welcome to the next installment of the Train Vicar. I have just concluded my series on the history of passenger trains in New Zealand. And today I want to talk about the time when my own photos were used by KiwiRail just as it was set up. Now, as you know, in the early days of the internet, before MySpace and YouTube and Facebook and X or whatever else there was, people used to build their own websites and put it on the net. My brother had signed up with a hosting service and suggested that I should get my own website as well. So I took up his offer, learned HTML and built my own website. I decided to publish some of my photographs on that, particular pictures of trains and ships and a few other things. I still have this website. It has changed a bit over the years, but not much, and I only have kept up the train and ship photos. But there's a link in the description below. Well, back in the day my cameras weren't as good and the photos I took even worse. But at least they were train photos and some people must have looked at them on the internet. So in 2008 the government purchased rail operations in New Zealand and formed KiwiRail. Just after being established, KiwiRail was still finding its feet. I was working at the Ministry of Transport in Wellington at that time, not on the rail side, but rather in maritime regulation and policy. That was because in 2008, the Labour government pushed for having more coastal shipping, and so the Ministry of Transport required people with some knowledge in shipping operations and shipping law, so that's why I got there. Well, anyway, one of my colleagues during my time at the Ministry of Transport showed me a report prepared by KiwiRail for the Minister of Transport. It was a confidential report. And as I looked at the report, I noticed that quite a few of the photos were taken from my website. KiwiRail probably thought that in a confidential report to the minister, nobody would notice if they got a few railway photos from an obscure website. I remember this photo here in particular being in the report. So I asked my colleague to remind KiwiRail that they should ask the photographer first before using any pictures. I was not allowed to keep a copy of the report and only had a quick look at it. I can't really remember what it said. I have tried getting a copy of the report through official channels but have not been successful. I almost wonder whether my photos have had any influence on the minister or some of his officials. Did they see that there were really quite a few old locomotives, so that KiwiRail required new ones? Did they see it was not the most up-to-date operation? Did they think that upgrades were urgently required? And did the photos make KiwiRail more appealing or less so? Or maybe they didn't have any effect at all and the minister just went by other matters. Well, I'll never know, but if you've got access to that report, let me know. So that is a quick reminder to be wise in whatever we do, in particular when we are posting on the internet, that we post something uplifting and good and something positive, something that makes the world something of a better and more beautiful place as well. So that's not a deep spiritual insight, but rather a question of wisdom. And after all, the Bible says that in life we have to be wise and also attuned to God.